Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. First thing first, I would like to introduce myself. My name is Nurul Karamah with ID number 20400124007. And on this wonderful occasion, I would like to explain the concept of syntax, assignment 8. So without any further ado, let's get started. So the first question is, how is syntax defined in linguistics and what is the main focus according to the session? So syntax is defined in linguistics as the study of sentence structure and the rules that govern how words and phrases are arranged to form meaningful expression. According to the session, syntax focuses on how elements such as nouns, verbs, adjectives, and other parts of speech interact within a sentence to create a grammatical relation. It is not only concerned with identifying the sentence part, but also understanding how they are organized to convey a clear meaning. Syntax examines patterns such as subject-verb agreement, clauses structure, and word order. The session also highlights that syntax reveals the deeper organizational principle of language, allowing linguistics to understand how sentences are mentally processed and produced. Several linguists, such as Chomsky, Chekhov, and Crystal, define syntax as a system of rules that guides sentence formation in a given language. Therefore, syntax provides the structural foundation that allows language users to communicate ideas accurately and coherently. In short, syntax is the branch of linguistics that studies how words combine into grammatical sentences and how the structure reflects meaning. Question number 2 is, according to the session, what role does syntax play in effective language teaching and learning? So, the document explained that syntax plays a crucial role in language teaching because it forms the backbone of meaningful and grammatically correct communication. A strong understanding of syntax helps learners construct sentences that are clear, logical, and free from ambiguity. Syntax also supports development of higher-level language skills, such as writing essays, understanding complex texts, and participating in fluent conversation. When learners master syntax, they become more capable to recognizing and correcting their own grammatical errors, which increases their independence and confidence. This session emphasized that syntax does not only teach rules, but also empowers learners to express ideas effectively in different communicative contexts. It also helps learners recognize variation in formal and informal language, allowing them to adjust tone and structure depending on the audience and purpose. In this way, syntax contributes to both accuracy and fluency in language learning. Therefore, the role of syntax in ELT is to help learners building linguistic competence and communicative clarity and also self-monitoring skills. The next question is, what is the standard word order in English declarative sentence and why is it important for communication? The standard word order in English declarative sentence is a subject, verb, plus object. This means that the subject is placed first, followed by the verb and then the object. These structures allow the listener or reader to easily identify who is performing the action, when the action is, and who or what receives the action. For example, the sentence "she read books" clearly shows that the door "she," the action "reads," and the object "books." This session highlights that SVO word order is essential for clear and coherent communication in English because even small change in order can affect the meaning. Where word formation is also needed to distinguish declarative sentence from other structures such as question or comments. In addition, learners depend on word order to interpret meaning, since English relies more syntactic order than on inflection. Therefore, understanding subject-verb-object structure is a fundamental step for building accurate and meaningful sentence in English. The next question is, how do phrases and clauses differ in their structure and function within a sentence? Phrases and clauses are both important units in syntax, but they differ in structure and function. A phrase is a group of words that act as a single grammatical unit, but it does not contain both as a subject and verb. Examples include noun the phrases the tall man, and verb phrases is reading book, and adjective phrases is very happy. Phrases function to adding a detail, describe elements, and modify other parts of a sentence. In contrast, a clause contains both a subject and verb, making it large syntactic unit. Clause can function as a complete sentence or often we call independent clause, or as a part of large sentence. It means that depend clauses. While phrases cannot stand alone as a full thought, clauses can express complete or incomplete ideas depending on their type. The document explained that phrases enrich meaning, while clauses build the core structure of a sentence. Together, they allow speaker and writers to construct sentences that range from simple to highly complex. And finally, the last question is, what are the difference between independent and dependent clause, and how they contribute to sentence complexity? And an independent clause is a clauses that contains a subject and verb and express a complete thought, so it can stand alone as a sentence. For example, she smiled is an independent clause because it's grammatically complete. A dependent clause also contains a subject and a verb, but it does not express a full idea and cannot stand alone. It's usually begin with subordinating conjunctions such as because or although or when, which signals that it depends on other causes for meaning. For example, because you was happy is a dependent clause that requires an independent clause to form a complete sentence. The session explained that the independent clause form the core meaning, while dependent clauses adding a detail such as cause, condition, or contrast. By combining both types, writers can construct compound or complex sentence. This contributes to sentence variety, depth, and sophistication, allowing language users to express more nuanced ideas rather than relying only on simple sentence. Maybe that's all of my explanation. Sorry if I made a mistake. So thank you for listening. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.